Hello, and we're going to be going over another video for our roughing at Commonground Baptist Camp's football tournament. One of the things we're going to be talking about is how to set picks. There's no blocking in the tournament, and this is a very controversial issue, and people struggle with it. So right now we're going to look at kind of a clean pick here. So we watch in this clip here. If you notice the guys setting picks, they do a good job here. You're going to see this guy right here. He's going to set a pick. He stops. And one of the general rule of thumbs is you need to have your feet planted, not necessarily, you have to think along the lines of a basketball pick, not exactly where you can't shuffle your feet at all or a little bit, but you need to be set, and I like to say about a yard or two away. If your feet are not set a yard or two away, then we're going to have to start calling penalties here. And you can see right here, feet are set. We're going to let the play follow through. And again, clean play. Nothing wrong with that. Excellent job there. Again, once they come in, and then this is the other key. Once you set your feet, you have to stay planted. And conversely, the rusher cannot engage this blocker. So you'll see sometimes where a rusher will come in and just run right into the guy setting a pick. No, he's got to set the pick and go around him like so. I'm going to see another example here. We have a rusher coming in. We have two people kind of setting picks. As the rusher gets closer, they both stop, and we can call this a little bit of a shuffle here, but both stop. He goes around. Great play. Here's an example of an illegal pick. So on this, we're going to watch this, in full motion here. Watch this guy right here. You're going to run through, and then one of the keys here on this is you'll notice that the rusher is coming in. He's going to start to follow the rusher into the backfield. And that's something that at this point you have to call. This is a moving pick. This is blocking without actually engaging. If you allow moving picks to happen where the guy can just run with the rusher, what's going to happen is on plays like this, eventually the rushers themselves will start to get upset. As you can see, he's turning. He never plants. He's right now turning. He's got his arm on the rusher, and he is engaging him fully as he's running to the backfield. And conversely, look at this pick right here, the guy in the center. He does a good job. He just sets a pick. He doesn't move. Excellent job. On the outside here, this is a penalty. I mean, he is running with the guy and putting his arms on him. And one thing is the ref, if you do not call this type of action where you have people kind of coming in the backfield, if you're not calling this where they're running through there, then your rushers are going to start taking more aggressive lines, and you're going to just open yourself up to a world of hurt on that. So anything like this where, again, you see right here, if he plants right there, I wouldn't call this. But he keeps running and takes about another 10 steps. So definitely a penalty on the guy there. So let's watch this next clip here. Now, again, on this one, it takes a little bit of a hop. But, again, if you only take one hop and stop, he's kind of in the area. I'm not necessarily going to call that. So, again, let's watch that one again. There's a little quicker here. Takes a hop, stops, rush goes around him, clean. Let's watch this one here. Again, on this one, what you're going to start to see here is you see a lot of movement by the guys setting picks, and again, their feet never plant. So you have the rusher coming in. You see, watch number 3. Number 3 is going to start running with his guy. He's taking more steps, 3 steps, and then he's going to take a 4th step back in. And at some point, you have to call that. If a guy's running with the guy, anytime you see them running with a guy, that's going to be a penalty. Let's watch this next one here. On this one, as we go in, this is an excellent job. Both these picks are clean here. We take a look here on this one. Again, I'm going to just focus on number 9. Number 9 does an excellent job here. He comes over, he takes a big step, and then he stops. That's the key. I would, if someone say, well, maybe by the time he plants, I would say this guy is, hard to tell from this angle. He's probably about a yard away, but then he stops, puts his arms inside, and then he goes out, turns around for his route. Same with number 3. We watch number 3 over here. He's going to come in. He takes a shuffle step, plants, and there you go. And then lets him go by. Excellent job. Again, let's watch here on these picks. Again, one of the things we're going to see here is they come in, they're going forward, they start to plant. He's about a yard or two away here. Plant, Don't move. Go around. Look at number 3 down here. He's going to get ready for a pick. Goes in, plants, doesn't move. And that's what you're looking for with your picks. You want something like that. You don't want the movement. So let's watch this next clip here. We're going to watch here. And again, you see a lot of movement going on. We'll watch that again because the film jumped. But again, you have a ton of movement here, just falling all over. And this is what you don't want. If you start to see what I call the repeated bunny hop here, where you're kind of going, you know, like, I mean, watch 12 here. He takes 1 step, 2 steps. Now, right now, this is fine. The rusher's not there. 9 takes an aggressive jump. Okay, well, let's say we let that one go. Right here, though, with 12, and 3, they're both running with the guy at this point, and he's within a yard of him. I mean, they got a plant there. So, again, let's back it up here, and let's talk about which of these picks are legal. Number 9 here is going to set what I would call a legal pick. He snaps the ball. He's going to kind of jump over, and, I mean, this is an aggressive jump. I would let this one go. He lands about a yard away, doesn't move. Great play. Now, this right here, though, you got 2 guys both running with the rush. They're running with him. At this point, you have to call this because, again, I don't know. I mean, if the rusher is not supposed to be making any contact with the guy setting pick, how is he supposed to go around without doing so? So all through here, where again you're seeing step after step, you know, they're just shuffling. They're basically running sideways with him. That to me, that's something I would call there. Now 9 is going to get back into the play here, and this here is you watch him come back in. He's going to kind of get in the way, realizes he can't quite get all the way in the way, stops, keeps his arms inside. He doesn't push his arms out, and that's a clean play. That last pick there by number 9, I would say both picks by 9 were clean. 12 and 3 kind of did walk a bit on that one. So we get back to here. Let's watch this pick here. And this is a little bit more subtle, but again, this is a running backwards. And I have to back this up because it's a quick hitter. But I want you to focus on this engagement right here, 43 here. I would call this an illegal pick. As he's coming back in, you're going to notice he puts his arms up, and he never sets. The guy setting the pick there, he never sets. And because of this, he runs into it. Now, you can say this doesn't affect the play or whatever, but this is something that you want to call, because what happens is if you don't call this, this eventually leads to more and more aggressive plays by the rusher and by the defense. And we want to avoid that. We don't want these crazy plays, these collisions, and so I would call that an illegal pick. Now, again, it is in your judgment. Maybe on a quick hitter like that, you say, well, that doesn't really affect the play. I'm just going to move on from there, and that is fine. But again, I would at the very least, issue a warning. And one of the keys you have in your back pocket as a ref is you can issue warnings and let them know, like, hey, you're really close to that. I don't like what you're doing that. And I recommend doing that, coaching them, say, hey, on this last play there, that was kind of an illegal pick. I need you to plant your feet. Yep, you're kind of walking with them. You can't be running, and demonstrate to them what you want. And that will cause them hopefully to clean up. And then I usually like to warn them. And if they're, I feel they understand the rules and then they do it again, then I'm going to definitely want to flag them on that. On this one here, we're going to have a penalty on what I would call on the rusher and on one of the picks. And this is, again, we showed a clip earlier with the same team here, these same 2 teams. And again, now you're going to start to see the escalation of this. So what's going to happen is they're going to come in, and then you're going to see the collision there. So a couple things that happened wrong here. First things first here. As they're coming in, their picks aren't too bad. But then you're going to watch, he's going to reach an arm out here on the end. And putting an arm out, you're not allowed to do that. You have to keep your arms inside. So he's literally full on at this point trying to gauge and blocking. And so what does 23 do? Well, nothing's being called, so he's just going to fly right in there and try to cause his own penalty. He doesn't care. So he puts his hand on this guy, and as you see, he slams into him. Now, as you notice right there, this guy here is going to kind of pick his leg up and try to trip him. So again, he's running into this guy. All this right here is illegal. And this is all the escalation because the previous stuff is not being called. And so what's going to happen, he's going to come in. He's going to try to go around. As he's going around, he cuts the corner type. They're going to go knee on knee. Again, a dangerous play there. He's going to see, this is so wrong on so many levels here. He's going to run into him. He's going to lean his elbow and his kick his leg right out there to kind of hit him. And again, all this is the start because the previous play we showed all the way back here where this isn't called. So when we don't call it back here, it's going to escalate to something up here. And this is something just to keep in mind where, you know, you think it's going to be okay, but then, again, now we're going to start, we actually put our hands out, we're kind of starting to pushing and shoving, and we're going to lead to knee-on-knee stuff. And we want to avoid that. All right, so let's take a look at this next pick here. This next pick here is what I would call a good pick. You see a little bit of shuffle, stops right here. Now, he's going to probably do a little reset here. He's going to straighten up, and he's bracing. I would not call this. This is a little feet shuffle, but his overall position doesn't change. Again, when he's finally set, when he starts, let me back it up here a little bit. He's going to do his final, he's going to kind of get set here. His feet are planted. And he's going to kind of bounce straight up. Now, when he plants, let's look at the distance. We're about a yard or two away. We're within that 6 feet window here. And he's going to plant straight up, but his overall position, he's bracing for this. Number 9 does a good job of trying not to run into him. You can see they're just kind of bracing a little bit, and then he's going to go around him. That's a clean play on both sides there. I like this. Excellent job. And number 9, realizing that number 2 is kind of in a vulnerable position. I think number 2 kind of catches him a little bit. He's surprised. It's a good pick. And they go around with it. Let's watch this next play here. Again, we're going to have a snap. And this one is a little bit subtle. I want you to watch number 3's arm because, again, as 28 is going around 3, you're going to see he's kind of leaning outwards. The picks cannot lean out into him, and he kind of shuffles his feet right into him, and he's going to kind of ride him out there, as you can see, at this point. You say, well, that's pretty minor. Well, here's the thing. When does that become minor? When does that get too aggressive? Once you set your feet, the rusher cannot hit him, and he cannot hit the rush. Means they can't lean into each other. They can't hit each other in any way. So he's going to go around him, and I would call that a penalty on number 3. Again, watch for the lean here. Watch his lean. Watch him kind of put his elbow out right here, and then he's going to jump into the guy. And you can see how number 28, he kind of gets slid off there. He kind of buckles a little bit. And that's something we want to avoid. As we get to our next play here, we're going to watch on this one. Again, we're going to have a rush coming in. As they start to go around, watch number 2 here. He's going to extend an arm and push out on him. Again, this is illegal right here. You cannot. Your arms have to be inside you like a basketball pick. And anytime you start to do something like this, that's going to cause problems. He's going to start complaining, well, 28 is going to go to the ref and say, hey, number 2 is hitting me. And number 2 is going to say, well, what's the big deal? And again, the pick has to have his arms inside him. He can put them up near his chest. He can, whatever, but you cannot extend your arms. And 3 has got to respect, 28 has got to also respect 2. So we watch this full speed. Looks a little bit different where maybe he catch him off balance. Maybe the grass is slippery or whatever, but still, that is definitely affecting the play, and it's an illegal pick. Again, we watch out here again. This one here is, and by the way, the end result of not calling this, you'll notice this is all from one game. This is going to lead to problems here, and this is one of the things where 3 is going to set a great pick here, and you're going to watch the rusher right here is just going to disrespect the pick, and he's going to come in and just hit the guy. So watch. He's coming in. He's going to come in, and boom. I mean, that's a penalty on the rush. And now watch again. He's going to then hit 80. Again, part of that is if you don't start calling this starts to escalate. And this is clearly, you can see right here, he's bracing. I think if 3 realizes he's braced, and he just shellacks him right here. And then he's going to hit number 80. And again, as you see, this is number 45 here. You can't have, this is where you have to be careful, because all those little things add up to this where, they get frustrated. And I encourage you as a ref, you always want to be saying, hey, I need you to calm it down here. Hey, whatever. And if you ever hear a guy piling on like, oh yeah, you're ref, you tell him, you gotta pull them both in and make them get along better. I will stop games and pray, because this sort of thing is where this starts to escalate the problems. I mean, this is clearly an illegal charge on the defense, and I'm calling a penalty on this every time here, because, again, this guy here setting the pick, he's pretty helpless. And the onus, if he gets a clean pick and he's not leaning in or anything, number 3, the onus is on the rusher to go around. So again, he's going to come and hit him, and the onus is on the rusher to go around. Just like if they have a clean pick, just like, for example, with the rusher, he has to respect the pick. The pick also has to respect him. It's a mutual respect. It's a Christian principle going this. Now, one place where I'm going to be a little bit more forgiving on picks is on routes near the line of scrimmage or routes downfield. So you're going to see here, I want you to watch number 12. He's going to set what I call a clean pick here. He's going to he kind of goes in. He's kind of just, brushing around here. He's kind of actually running a route, if you were. I know he's looking to kind of get in the way, but again, doesn't extend his arm, keeps his hands in. He's kind of running a route and getting in front of him. So because he's downfield, I'm this one, even though again he's pretty keeping his feet within him, his shoulders there. He's not really doing moving a lot. I would call that a clean play. Let's watch this next one here. We're gonna have the ball snapped, and this one is a downfield pick. And at first, it's gonna be legal. So we have this throw out here. Right now, these guys, legal play. I'm not too thinking about this, but as you watch if you watch this guy here, let's see his number here. I think it's number 11 here. He's going to start pushing on the guy. So we'll watch it full speed. You'll see it. Watch this guy right here. So he's kind of pushing. That extra push there, this is something I would call right here. Right here, they're kind of standing each other. Maybe they're kind of pushing a little bit for balance or whatever. Not too bad, but this last push there, that lunge, definitely is a penalty I would call, and I would bring that back. You cannot lunge into a guy like that. Again, he's pushing, extends his arms right there. That's definitely a penalty all day there. And again, I'm a little bit more forgiving on some of these picks downfield, but this one is definitely a penalty here. So let's watch this next rush here. He's coming in, and again, you're going to see we're doing the whole walking thing. Now, this is interesting because we're going to have a legal pick and an illegal pick on the same play here. And this often happens. You're going to see number 3 is coming in. He's running with the guy again. He's, this whole time the guy is within a yard or two of him, and he's running. Now, here's the thing, though. Number 9 does an excellent job on this pick here. He's going to come back, and as he cuts back, he's planted right here. And this guy's about a yard or two away, and he doesn't move. He's got his hands inside him. He's braced a little bit. He shuffles his feet. That's fine. And that is a legal pick. And this is a good job by the rusher. He starts to go around him. Now, number 3, though, look at this. He's kind of running with him. That is an illegal thing. He cannot be doing that. Next, let's take a look at this play here. This is going to be another legal pick. He comes out. He starts to get in his way. Now he's going to flare out into his route. He's about a yard or two away. Flares out into his route. Gets a catch out of it. Again, legal play. One other thing I want to cover here on picks is what if someone's running a route downfield? And so right here we have this guy. He's going to run a route downfield. And this is a clean play. He is going to briefly get in the rush, but again, he has just as much a right to run a route out here as the rush has a right to come into this line here. Excellent play. The rush avoids him. He kind of slows up the rush a little bit. This is a clean play, and I am more forgiving of any play like this on this side of the line of scrimmage. They're running a route, and they happen to run a route, and they're in front of them. Now, if they're egregious and they're going out of their way and they're trying to elbow a guy or they're putting their hands out in front of them, trying to hit them, I would call that. But this one right here, this is a legal play to me. If you look at this, he kind of come in. The rush kind of tries to go. He got in his way. He flares out. Excellent play here. So again, let's just watch that. We're going to go this a little bit frame by frame here. He starts running out here on the play. Kind of dodges the rush a little bit, but gets in his way. Clean play. Rush goes around him. And again, we look at the line of scrimmage here, and we have some clean plays here. Here. You can see this one. I would maybe tell the ref, this guy, hey, don't extend your arms and hit him. Part of this also, if you're seeing a lot of your pick guys do this, sometimes that's the cause of a rush end who keeps running into them. And so they're just putting their hands out to brace because they don't want to get hit. I mean, no one wants to get hit, when you're standing still helpless. So, again, this is a clean play. On the forward side, he's going to kind of run. Kind of gets in the way of the rush a little bit. clean play. So again, a couple things just to remember when you're watching for picks and stuff. You know, if you see the moving feet and you know, you see arms extended like right here, that's something you want to avoid. You don't want to let that happen. And again, one thing is, it's also illegal for someone, if they have a clean pick here, for someone to just run in and kill them. So one of the things you want to look for is lots of bunny hopping. Again, if they shuffle their feet while it's underneath them, that's clean, that's fine. But if you have anything where they're kind of running with them, like kind of in this example, that's something we want to call. And again, remember, anything downfield, we're going to be a little bit more forgiving on it. But again, they can't be extending their arms. Their feet have to be inside them, and their arms have to be inside them as well.